So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here, for being on time. And we're so excited to get going with orientation this year. We have a lot of returning organizations. We have some new faces. I just wanted to give a little welcome, special welcome to some of the new organizations that have joined us so far. The Half of a Lions Club and the Rotary and also Rise. So welcome, and then welcome anyone who's new to the whole Coastside Gives process. So normally in years past, we would be going around the room and we'd be introducing ourselves and kind of sharing a little bit about our organization. Unfortunately, we can't be doing that right at this time. So we wanted to start the meeting with just a couple little snippets from some organization representatives that have participated in the past. So I just want to thank Shell Cleve of Sea Hugger and Caitlin Breberg of Coastside Hope for sharing their thoughts. So enjoy.
Oops, I'm not hearing sound. People can't hear the audio.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Shell Cleve, and I'm the founder of Sea Hugger. We are a grassroots nonprofit based here in Half Bay, and this is our third year participating in Coastside Gives. The first year was a little intimidating, but they really made it easy for us. They gave us so much information and helped us set up our giving platform and gave us great ideas on how to reach our community. We did really well that first year, and then the second year, which was during the pandemic, when we all thought, oh gosh, how's this going to turn out? The second year was even better, and it exceeded our expectations. Coastside Gives is a wonderful way for us to reach the community, people that maybe don't know about us, especially because we're so new, and we're sort of a niche nonprofit. We focus on protecting and healing the marine environment from plastic pollution. So it's just been a wonderful platform for us. It's also been a great way for us to get to know other nonprofits on the coast so that we can support each other. And really, Half Moon Bay is such an amazing community, and it's really such a blessing to live here and to meet all of these great people and work together. And the support that we get from the community definitely encourages us to keep up our work. Thank you to the Mavericks Community Foundation for putting on Coastside Gives. We are excited to participate again this year and do even greater good.
Okay. Kelly, was that up? Were you able to hear that the second time?
Yep, you're good.
Great. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, if you have your headphones in, it doesn't want to play the video. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Breberg, Development Operations Director here at Coastside Hope. Coastside Gives is an amazing fundraising event for nonprofits here on the coastside, and we're really grateful to be a part of it. Last year was really different because COVID was new and hitting communities with so many challenges, from unemployment to food insecurity. In a very dark and difficult start to a once-in-a-century pandemic, Coastside Gives really showed how wonderful of a community Half Moon Bay is and how we can come together for our neighbors. Last year was our most successful Coastside Gives. We received so much support from the community to help our neighbors in need, and we look forward to this year.
So again, thank you and welcome. We're so glad you're here. So I just wanted to go over a little bit of the agenda for today. So first, we're going to do a little bit of introductions on our team for Coastside Gives, the Mavericks Community Foundation, and our support team. We're going to go over some general event details. We're going to talk a little bit about prize grants. We're also going to discuss the giving guide, important dates and deadlines, and donation processing fees. I will say that whatever questions that you have, we're going to wait till the very end. So you can type them in the Q&A section, and we will be monitoring that. And then at the very end, we'll be going through those questions. So thank you. Okay. So we're going to also have a presentation from Maylin today, who is our Giving Day platform representative. For those of you who don't know what a Giving Day platform is, it's that profile that you're logging into. It's Neon Gives Days, and they're our host, our technology partner. So Maylin, as I mentioned, is our representative. She's the one that's been assisting us, putting everything together on the back end. She's going to go over the registration process. So, obviously a lot of you have registered already, but she's going to go over all the administrative functions for your public profile. There's so much you can do to really enhance what you're showing to the community. She's going to go over whatever resources are available to you through the Giving Days platform. And she's going to talk about the changes and the new features offered to enhance the Giving Day experience. So this is going to be about a 15 to 20 minute presentation. It's mandatory for anyone who's new and highly recommended for everybody to just stick around and get guided through the new platform because we have had some changes this year. So Mavericks Community Foundation, excuse me. Behind every successful event, there's a team of hardworking visionaries, and that is the Mavericks Community Foundation for Coastside Gives. Their mission is they strive to make a lasting impact on the San Mateo County coast by encouraging community engagement, support, and collaboration. We envision a future where all our coastside nonprofit organizations are enabled to support the needs of our community. So Coastside Gives is one of their big endeavors in this community, and it's really grown over the last few years, and we're excited that it just continues to keep growing. Our board members are all volunteers, so that takes special people to really come together and volunteer their time, and so we thank our board members. So we have our president, Kelly Hoffman Davis, our treasurer, Stephanie Breslin, secretary, Mary Oldham, board member, Mike Alfano, and board member, Lisa Grissom. So thank you for continuing to put on this event for our nonprofits and for our community. So along with the Community Foundation, you have me. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Kelsey Courier. I did manage this event last year as well. I'm really excited to manage it again this year. I'm a Coastside local. I've lived here since El Granada Elementary School all the way through the high school, and I'm so excited to once again be a part of this event and show up for the community. Maylin Brown, as I mentioned, is our Neon Giving Days representative. So she will be assisting me. Any questions you direct to me, and then sometimes I'll have questions that I direct to Maylin. So we thank her for her support. So what is Coastside Gives? Coastside Gives is a 24-hour online day of giving to inspire people to give generously to nonprofits, making our region stronger, creating a thriving community for all. So just a little bits of information here. Who is it? It's you guys. It's over 50 nonprofits from Pescadero to Montera, as well as our community and your donors. So it's time to get involved, get all your donors involved with the event. What is it? A 24-hour online day of giving that brings the Coastside together as one community, raising money and awareness for our local nonprofits. Where is this event? It's at coastsidegives.org. So everyone will be directed to that website. That's where all your public profiles are published for your donors to see. And so that's where we direct everyone to find out more about the event and where they will donate and when. So Gives Day itself is on May 6th. So it starts at 12:01 a.m. Thursday, May 6th. And as we said, it's a 24-hour event. However, we are doing early giving or early donations that are being accepted starting March 8th. So basically that means that you can start putting your information together and rallying your donors and letting them know that if they don't want to wait till May 6th and they want to support you now, starting March 8th, they'll be able to go to coastsidegives.org and donate, which is great. So, okay, prize grants. Prize grants are a really fun part of Coastside Gives. They're just another aspect of the giving day that kind of bring it to a different level. They're also a way for participating nonprofits to get additional funds from our sponsors and our donors. So prize grants, they come from basically the Mavericks Community Foundation securing funds from sponsors and private donors to award to the participating nonprofits. So the prize grants this year will be announced at the meeting on April 8th at 9 a.m. So you'll definitely want to be there to get all the specifics and the information on what the prizes are and the specifications and guidelines to win these prizes. So some previous prize grants, just to give you an idea, we've done some social media and YouTube challenges that were really fun. Power hours, which is, picking an hour that your organization is going to try and rally your donors and try and get the most unique donors in a given hour. And unique means they're just, from different households or, different people giving during that hour. Most donations received overall, and we do break you up into categories. So some of you asked why we asked for an operating budget. That's part of it, is we want everyone to feel like they're on a bit of a level playing field. And so for some of those prizes, we do break you up into operating budget size, so that, kind of the smaller nonprofits can be with the smaller and the larger with the larger. And then also golden tickets. And golden tickets are really fun. They're just randomly drawn prizes throughout the day. So for example, last year in New Leaf, we had, they had golden tickets, and every hour from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., they selected a new winner. And it was just really fun and exciting to announce those winners as the day went on. So just a little note on that, donations for all these prize grants, like all donations must be processed through the website to count towards the prizes. So we ask that you really do encourage your donors to donate through the website, and then those donations will be counted towards the prize grants. So the giving guide. A lot of you know what this is. It's a wonderful, wonderful resource that we'll be doing again this year. So the giving guide is it's a pamphlet, and it's 5 by 10.5 inches. And we will be mailing it to every Coastside nonprofit, or every Coastside resident, excuse me. That was something that we did last year because of COVID, and it had such a huge response. And so we decided again that we were going to do that this year and just really try and expand our reach and let people know who's out there as far as the nonprofits in the community and what you guys are doing. So it's going to feature profiles, editorial and sponsorship information. So you can see on the right here, that's what the profile page will look like. The deadline is March 1st. So basically you'll need to pay the fee, which there's a $250 publishing fee in order to put this book together and mail it. So you'll need to make sure all your content is it's current, it's spell checked, and it's ready to go. So please take the time, make sure that everything is how you want it to be published. And a big thing to know is your photo, and Maylin can go over how you upload photos to your profile, but you want to make sure that you upload a photo that's labeled the giving guide, so it's very clear to us which photo you'd like to use. And when you're picking your photo, make sure it's clear, it's easily visible, we can tell what it is, and it's a landscape, which is the long Y's, versus portrait type of photo. So on the right's a good example. That's the orientation of the picture that you want. So, just make sure that everything's good to go by March 1st. Okay, so speaking of deadlines, I just wanted to kind of go over what's coming ahead. So registration is currently live. So we're in the middle of registration. Please, if you know any other nonprofits that are curious, let them know that we're still open until February 15th. At that point, we do close registration, so no one is able to submit. So make sure by February 15th, everything's complete. You've submitted your profile to me. We do have a requirement to upload a filled out W-9. So make sure that all of that information is in there in your profile, and we will be closing down registration. You will still be able to make profile edits until March 1st. So you'll be able to log in and maybe change things or update them up until that date. And after that date, we will be closing down the editing portion of your profile. Wednesday, February 24th at noon, we will be offering information on a training on peer-to-peer fundraising. I'll go into that more in the next slide. That's going to be with our technology provider. They're hosting it. So it's, you know, different people from different gives days all over are invited to join. We'll be sending out that information for you. And if you're interested, you can sign up. The next day, Thursday, February 25th at 9 a.m., we will be having another training, tips and tricks with Rita Mancera from Puente. And once again, I'll go more into detail on the next slide. The next date on the calendar is Monday, March 1st, and that's going to be your final day to opt into the giving guide and pay your fees. So make sure your photo's uploaded, make sure everything has been spell checked. Monday, March 8th, I mentioned previously, is when early giving begins. So, you know, the site is live, it's accepting donations in real time, so you can refer people to the website. Thursday, April 8th at 9 a.m., we will be having our prize structure informational meeting. That one you must attend. We will be going over all the details of the prize grants for this year. And so that one's a really important one to put on your calendar. And then of course, Thursday, May 6th, starting at 12:01 is Gives Day. So that's the main event. Okay, so I mentioned the trainings. I'm just going to start off by saying trainings are optional, but they're highly encouraged. And something about this event that I've seen is that you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So you really do need to make sure that your profile has everything about what you need, what programs you're supporting, and all your activities and everything that you need funding for. But make sure that you're interacting, and these trainings are going to help you take it one step further or two steps further and really get more involved. So the first training, as I mentioned, is a peer-to-peer fundraising campaign training. We did have peer-to-peer last year, but it was kind of late in the game that we added it. But basically, this is a way for your supporters to be able to create their own fundraising pages. So a good example was last year, Big Wave. They really did a good job using the peer-to-peer fundraising campaigns, where they created different fundraising pages for some of their residents and some of their members. So that people, you know, you could send them out and put them on your social media and just get even more people involved. So this training is going to be presented by Neon Gives Days. It's going to talk about what to consider before launching a peer-to-peer campaign, tips for motivating volunteer fundraisers, what to include in a toolkit for volunteer fundraisers, and important steps to take after a peer-to-peer campaign. Okay, so the second training is tips and tricks for Coastside Gives Success. Again, that's on February 25th at 9 a.m. Thank you so much to Rita Mancera of Puente. She has now done this training multiple years for us. She is a wealth of knowledge. Last year, we did surveys and everyone said that was the most helpful and really informative. So I would definitely make sure to make that training. She's going to go over planning for the event, strategy, donor activation, volunteer engagement, and of course, at the end, gratitude. You know, you can't forget that once this event is over, for us, it's not over. You know, we have to thank our donors, and we have to make sure that everyone who donated is feeling like that donation has been recognized by your organization. Okay. So donation processing fees. I'm gonna put this up here. This is every donation or every transaction will be assessed a flat fee. So to put it in perspective, any event, any fundraiser, there's costs involved. You have to rent tables, you have to rent chairs, you have to hire people. This is an online event, but there are still, you know, costs and fees involved for the community foundation. And so we assess these fees to cover those costs and to ensure that we can keep this event going for everyone. So without these fees, without these transaction fees from donations, you know, we can't continue to host this event. So that's why it's really important to encourage donors to donate through the site. And just looking at the numbers, so transaction fees can be 100% covered by your donors on the platform. So they may choose to cover the costs of the extra fees. So by default, when they go to donate, our platform is set up to have fees covered by donors unless they opt out. And just to give you an example, last year, 63.5% of donors actually covered those fees. So you received the full amount of that intended donation. So, you know, it's the cost of, you know, making sure that we are using our technology platform, which hosts our site, they prevent fraud, and they ensure a positive user experience, and make it really easy for people to donate and for us to spread the word. So this event has grown every year, and I just think it's fun to look back and see, you know, back in 2017, the event raised $325,000, which is amazing. 2018, you know, we did more, 467,500. 2019 got up to 690,000, and in 2020, we went over 1 million. So anyone who was a part of the event last year, you remember what an amazing and emotional time it was. We know for the board, I mean, we were all on a video chat watching the ticker and watching it go. And when it hit over 1 million, it was incredible. And it was my first year, but for the board, I mean, they've been doing this for years, and to see how much support the community showed up with us, especially with the pandemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic, but, you know, like Caitlin said, you know, I think hard times and people tend to step up, and our community is pretty incredible. So they really stepped up, and we did amazing things last year, and I know we can do amazing things again this year. So a few more numbers for you. As we mentioned last year, on our Gives Day, we reached a total of $1,076,254. And that was with 52 nonprofits last year. 48,640 people have been served by the nonprofits that we support. So, I mean, that's an incredible reach with all of you and all your programs and services. 3.8 million has been raised by the Mavericks Community Foundation for Coastside nonprofits. That's incredible. For a volunteer board, that's amazing. And 62 nonprofits have participated in Coastside Gives since 2015. So we're excited. We've got a couple new people, and it looks like we're, you know, gonna jump above what we did last year. And we love that new organizations keep joining us. So questions, like I said, please type them into the Q&A. And many of them may be about registration, which Maylin is going to go over in detail. So, you know, stand by and see, you know, what she goes through. And then all along the way, I will be your point person. Please don't hesitate to email me any questions you have, big or small. And I'm happy to get back to you and support you and help you through this process. This event wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, the Kirby Foundation, as well as the following: Compass and Palermo Properties Team, Ocean Blue Real Estate, Robin Kirby Realty, Lisa Forward with Compass, The Graphic Works, Alifano, Goldworks, Half Moon Bay Review, Spanglers, New Leaf, and KHMB. We are so lucky to have these businesses who support our cause. So big thank you to them. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Maylin.
We make that transition. I just wanted to remind people we have two different functions going on, the chat and the Q&A. And a lot of the questions that are coming up in the chat, I think the whole group would like to see too. So if we could put all your questions in the Q&A, then at the end, we can address everybody's questions at once.
Great.
Thank you. Let's take a look here. I don't have permission to share.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, try now.
There we go. Thank you. All right, awesome. Thank you, Kelsey. As mentioned, my name is Malin. I'm with Neon Giving Days, the platform partner with Coastside Gives. It's been awesome getting everything ready for this year. I'm just going to walk you guys through registration. I know a good amount of you have already registered, but stick around. Part of the beginning will be for new participants who have their first initial inquiry, and then registration. But towards the end of the presentation, I'll actually be talking about maximizing your profile and taking advantage of all the features that your profile really has, as well as some new ones that are brand new this year, so new to everybody. All right. So just to get started, of course, step one of registration is just navigating to coastsidegives.org. From the homepage, you'll notice in the top right-hand corner, you'll have a login dropdown. To log into your nonprofit profile, you'll click nonprofit. From there, it navigates you to this registration login screen. For your returning organizations, so you guys who have participated in the past, you'll log in under this blue button that says login as returning organization. You should have received a password reset email this year that came from Neon Sign In, Coastside Gives, and it just says update password. If you still need to log in and register this year, you will need to reset your password before doing so. So you can reset your password from here. If you're a new participant, first time ever, you'll click apply as new organization and you'll submit your inquiry. After your first initial inquiry is accepted, you will log in as a returning nonprofit at that point. Next, this is also kind of a preview of the inquiry process as well as what your profile looks like during registration. So super simplified for you. You'll fill out your organization's information. All required fields are marked with red asterisks. You will not be able to save progress on your profile without at least submitting all of your required fields. And then you'll submit your inquiry. Next, you'll have the opportunity to add some organization information. This is where it gets a little more fun, starting to get into the fun of your profile. You have the opportunity to add all these social media and website links. If you don't have them, perfectly okay. You can just add the ones you do have. The mission statement, more about us, and testimonial areas down here are public-facing content on your profile. So this is where you really want to maximize your profile, tell your donors what you're all about, and start getting your details out there to get them really engaged. You will have a terms and conditions agreement to basically download this. You'll notice that there's a button that says here, noted with this arrow. You'll click the arrow and it downloads the document to your desktop. You'll want to make sure you completely read through all the Coastside Gives terms of service, and then you will click and hold your mouse to sign in this box. Now, once you sign in the box, you're ready to go. It doesn't make you submit it from this area or anything. Once your signature appears, you can just click Save Changes and submit for approval. Next, I wanted to show you guys what the login screen looks like, mostly for returning organizations because it does look a bit different this year. You'll notice it has the Neon Giving Days logo currently. Of course, that's us, the platform partner. New participants at this stage, your inquiry has been submitted to the Coastside Gives team for review. Once you're deemed eligible, you'll receive an email for next steps, and that's when you'll go ahead and log in as a returning organization to complete your registration. Returning organizations who have already been a part of Coastside Gives before, this is what you'll see when you first go to log in, and then you'll fill out that profile information we were just looking at. Once you log in to register, you'll have a button that immediately says click registration, or you can navigate to your Giving Day dashboard, check out your status here, and register from the homepage as well. You'll notice that you will have an organization status bar on this dashboard through your entirety of the registration. So if you're ever curious where you are during your process, definitely you can check here on your dashboard and it'll let you know. This does update with different colors and verbiage through the process. So step 1 of registration will actually walk you through profile information that you already had. So if you're a returning organization, this will pre-fill all of your information from last year. This is just a great opportunity for any updates for you guys. So if you have new contact information, you know, a new address or anything, be sure to update that. Same goes for new participants. Everything you've submitted during your inquiry will also be here. So if you feel like maybe you want to beef up your More About Us section and type some more in here, you still have the opportunity to do that. You'll notice through your registration process as well, you'll have this 3-step progress bar through the top. I say 3 steps lightly because actually your 3rd step is just submitting it. So once you verify your information in step 1, you'll actually move to step 2 to pay your registration fee. Paying your registration fee looks like this. It will already pre-populate that $50 for you for just the registration fee. You can pay via debit card, credit card, or bank ACH information. There is a payment agreement terms at the bottom of this page. You'll just want to click that box and then you'll click pay fee and submit registration. At this point, your profile has been submitted for registration for review. There will be a populated screen shown here that will allow you to go ahead and set any of your event goals if you already know what those are. You do have the opportunity to list some of them now, save what you have, and you can come back later. This is something that you don't have to fill out now. If you're not sure what your goal is just yet, you can push no thanks, I'll do this later. And you can come back to your dashboard and update this, which I'll show you how to do in just a second. So I was mentioning your profile statuses and your registration progress bar. You'll notice in this stage, once you've submitted your registration, your profile is waiting review from the Coastside team. Your bar will turn yellow and says awaiting review. And then once you're approved, it turns green and it actually says approved. And at that point, you are listed live in public on coastsidegives.org. So to talk about some profile highlights for you, on your Giving Day performance dashboard, there's a ton of information here for you. So all of those important event dates and trainings that Kelsey had just mentioned, you can actually see and reference all of those on your dashboard as well. You'll see this exact milestones blog area. This does move and adjust as dates have passed. So you'll notice that this January 4th one will not be on your scroller any longer because January 4th is now in the past. However, you'll notice that the blue balloons are important dates and the green balloons are your training events. Take a look back here in the event that any other additional trainings or milestones might be added. On your Giving Day dashboard, this is also the place that you can come back to adjust those goals that we were talking about. If you don't have them immediately during registration, you can come here and update them whenever feasible. You can actually update this during the Gives Day too. So say if you you set a goal of 10,000 and you meet that goal and we still have a few hours left, definitely feel free to go in and increase that goal. It's just kind of encouraging donors to give that much more and support you further. You'll also notice at the top of your navigation, you have a resource center. There's tons of information in this resource center for you. There's plenty of articles. There's a Giving Day platform article that helps you maximize your profile and navigate through the system. There is a peer-to-peer fundraising article that helps you manage your peer-to-peer fundraisers. There will be a training on that, but of course, additional resources for you following. There's also information like how to best retain your donors and social media outreach help and a lot of stuff in there. So be sure to check that out too. Under your My Public Profile tab, this is where you get to add even more information to your profile. You'll notice on the left side of this screen, you have the option to add donation levels, multimedia, which include both videos and photos. The videos that are supported are YouTube or Vimeo videos. The videos do have to be public on your YouTube page for them to be able to be uploaded. If it's private to your account, they will not work. You can add programs, events, documents. This is where you upload specific information you may need for the event. The volunteers tab is a very new feature this year. So you guys actually now have the opportunity to list any volunteer needs that you have within your organization. If it's, help with a food drive or a clothing drive or whatever it might be, you can list your volunteer needs under this tab, and this does show on your profile. You can list a volunteer coordinator if you have one that those donors or board members can reach out to directly to connect with. There's also an option for donors to say that they would like to volunteer for you through the donation portal. And that information is also listed on your donation information tab. Now, a little bit about the giving guide. I know Kelsey spoke about this, but I did want to let you know how to upload your photo for the giving guide. So pretty easy, just navigate to your multimedia tab. Then there's an add multimedia entry button. Once you click that, you'll just upload your photo. The best way for us to recognize what photo you want to use for the giving guide is for you to name the photo, Giving Guide Photo 2021. Super simple. At this point, you have completed your full registration as well as maximized your profile. Adding those events, programs, and volunteer needs really just kind of gives that extra oomph for your account and gets more people engaged. If you don't have, donors may not be able to volunteer or donate too much financially, but they can volunteer their time to assist with you as well. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to the Coastside team. Kelsey and I will definitely be happy to help you. Thank you, guys. You're muted, Kelsey.
Thank you both so much for both of your presentations. Go ahead, Kelsey.
Okay. So thank you again. I'm going to go through the Q&A and we're going to see what questions we can answer for you guys. So Alejandra, in our platform, we were fundraising for 3 of our core programs and gave that option to our donors. Is there a feature on the back end of reporting where the nonprofits can see what a donor has designated their gift to? Maylin, can you speak to that?
There's a couple ways that I would think you can actually do this. On the donation portal, there is a notes box for the donor. If they would like to, they do have the option to leave you a little note, and that's where they can kind of look to designate that donation to a certain program. Also, I know we haven't talked about peer-to-peer fundraising too much yet, but this is actually a perfect opportunity for that. You can create peer-to-peer fundraising pages that are sort of a spin-off of your nonprofit profile, where you can use them to engage donations through that peer-to-peer, particularly for that program. So you can have an individual peer-to-peer for all 3 of those programs, and then you can share those programs directly to your family, your friends, your social media, and get more acknowledgement there also.
Thank you. Rita, would donations be processed when they are made, or would they be processed on May 6th but scheduled since March 8th? No, so it's actually live time. So starting March 8th, when people donate, it will happen immediately. I know in the past, we did it this way last year, but I know in previous years, it's been called scheduled donations, and they can say that they're going to donate, but then it doesn't go through until the gives day, but that's not the case. It's live time, which I think is great because it prevents a lot of confusion when people forget that we months ago signed up to donate, and then all of a sudden there's a transaction going through and they can't figure out what it is. So it is live. And so anytime after March 8th, those donations will be happening and charged to the donors real time. Okay. Let's see, Mary, we are new to this. Can I see a copy of last year's giving guide? Kelly, do you have one there?
I have a bunch at the Graphic Works. And if anybody wants, usually in a different situation, we'd have extra copies that people could pick up. But you're welcome to come by my office at the Graphic Works in Montera and pick one up that you can use to see as an example at any time. I'll make sure that they're sitting at the front desk as of today.
Thank you. And Kelly had a good way of explaining the giving guide. She said it's kind of like those voter pamphlets that you get in the mail. This is your chance. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations that our community doesn't know about. There's a lot of you guys that are maybe smaller or newer or doing things that the public just isn't aware of. So this is your chance to educate the public on what you're doing and what you're raising money for. So think of it that way and try and really make sure that whatever you're writing is going to be really informational and let people know what you're up to. Okay, Ginger, is there a different profile that we have to fill out just for the giving guide, or does it take our profile from what we have on the website? So when you're filling out that profile, it will pull that information. So some of the fields are going to be what the funds are being used for, and also just about your organization. So there's a section on the bottom and we do pull that. So that's why we say, I'm trying to find, that's why we say, make sure that when you fill out your profiles, you know, and the public facing content, that's what you want published on the website and in the giving guide. Okay. Michael, to be clear, fees include $300 participate plus $250 for mailer and then about 5% transaction. No, so the fees to participate, it's a $50 registration fee just to join Coastside Gives. Then there's a $250 fee for being published and having a page in the giving guide. And I will say that pretty much last year, almost every single organization did go in the giving guide. And because we mail them out to everyone, I would say you definitely want to do that. It's great marketing for your organization, and it's a great way to you know, reach more people that maybe you wouldn't have reached if they didn't see you in the giving guide. And then as far as the transactions, it's a 5.5% fee. So that slide had all the different kind of fees that are involved and why we came up with that 5.5% to be able to cover the different transaction fees and everything like that. So it's a 5.5% fee. Donors can cover this fee, and you know, we have it set up so it kind of, you know, leads them to do that unless they select otherwise. Okay, Sharice, will you be sending us the PowerPoint for us to share with our team? So the PowerPoint will be uploaded to the website. And so we have a page, toolkit. So if you go to coastsidegives.org, it'll say, you know, for participating nonprofits, and there's a toolkit. Along with this question, Joe, you asked, are all the due dates and training dates on the website? So we do have a calendar on the coastsidegives.org website that has the dates of the training. We also have, you know, different resources. We have logos that you can put on your social media. We have little Instagram logos and banners and things like that that you can pull from the website to use to market the event. And then also, as Maylin mentioned, you'll have that little section in your profile that has all the training dates and information that you can click on and see what's coming ahead.
And I just, excuse me for interrupting, this video, the presentation of this video will also be on there. And it changes all the time. So the toolkit page is a great resource to go on often to look for a digital copy of the postcard or other printables that we have to help you guys tell your own Coastside Gives story. So I really highly recommend checking it often and sharing it with your whole team so that they can watch the video and the questions and answers and all the little nuances that you get from watching the whole presentation instead of just looking at the slides yourself.
Thanks, Kelly. So Pat, you kind of had the same question. Will the slides presented today be available? Yes, they will. So where do we get the Coastside Gives signs that go on your lawn? Jet's asking.
those will be available a little bit later in the process, and you'll be notified for both signs and t-shirts and posters. Those are kind of some of the collateral that comes out as the event starts wrapping up. We're still in the process of securing sponsors. We still have new registration for new nonprofits. And so once we get all that information, we'll be sharing it with the rest of the group.
Thanks. Jet, you also asked, many of our donors are Spanish speaking. Is there any handouts advertising in Spanish? So yes, the posters are double-sided and they are in Spanish and in English. And the lawn signs, I'm not sure, Kelly, I can't recall.
We've never done the lawn signs in Spanish, but I
it's
think
not.
it's a really great suggestion. And I think we should we can easily make the lawn, have a couple Spanish lawn signs this year. Making the giving guide in Spanish might be challenging for this year, but I think it's definitely something that we could look at for next year, or being able to translate parts of the giving guide for this year. So I love that suggestion and really appreciate that feedback.
Okay. Let's see, Michael. Somehow I already paid the full fee when I registered. Well, Michael, hopefully you want to join the giving guide. So if you did pay the $300 to register and join the giving guide, you're just ahead of the game. So if you don't want to be a part of the giving guide for some reason, you can contact me. But I would say you definitely should be a part of it. So. Will there be t-shirts this year?
There will be t-shirts this year. And you have an opportunity to purchase the t-shirts on our website as soon as I finish coming up with the design. Previous years, we've had our Give Where You Live t-shirts that have been a huge hit, and you're able to purchase those online, and we'll send out some communication about how that'll be done and what they'll look like soon.
Okay, and how to upload the W-9 form. So Maylin kind of showed you there's some different menu options. One of them, when you log into the back end of your profile, there's a menu on the left-hand side. That menu has different menu options, and one of them says documents. So you're going to click into that documents section, and there's a place to upload a file. There's a little pull down menu that has different types of files that you can upload, but you're just going to scroll down to the bottom and select other. And then you're going to label, make sure you name your document, your organization name, W-9, and then upload it. And if you're having any trouble with that, feel free to reach out to me and I can, jump on the phone and walk you through it or whatever, but it should be pretty straightforward and just through the back end of your site.
And I know that this is a new request, and we've had a couple people asking why it's a requirement this year. We actually had the same requirement last year, but we collected those W-9s after the event, and knowing that nonprofits always want to get that check as quickly as possible, this will help expedite that process. So we can't write a check for your donations until we have those W-9s on file. And so by getting it now, it'll help streamline the closeout process at the end of our giving.
There's one question in the chat from Barbara about having found the place to review the Coastside Gives booklet wording. Maybe Kelsey, you could just run through that, and Maylin maybe clarify that again.
Yeah. So one of the sections for the giving guide is the funds will be used for. So that is, I think last year it maybe was a little bit more clearly labeled as far as saying this information will be in the giving guide, but basically it's going to be the about our organization section on your public profile, as well as the funds will be used for, and also your goal, your event goal, that monetary goal, those will all be in the giving guide.
So I think we've gotten through all of the submitted questions and answers. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to log on with us this morning. Thank you both to Maylin and Kelsey for putting these great presentations together. We're super excited for Coastside Gives 2021. And if you have any questions, please reach out to Kelsey and she'll be able to help you through the way. Have a great morning and week. Hope we had 2 more pop in as soon as I said we were done. Oh,
Oh,
no, we're
we're
good.
just saying thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. Thanks to Maylin and thanks to the board. And we're just so excited to get going. So
All right. Have a great day, everybody.